Welcome to the Be Mindful podcast. I am your host, women's mindset and manifestation coach, Rachelle Rosal Torrio. If you are interested in manifestation, personal development, or spirituality, you have came to the right place. This podcast was created with the intention to help you become mindfully aware of how you think, what you speak, and what you believe, because who you are from within is what you will attract from the out. Let's begin. Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Be Mindful podcast. On today's episode, we're going to talk about how relationships can impact our quality of life. Not just romantic relationships, but friendships too. I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this, you have probably lost a relationship, whether it was a friend or a romantic relationship. But I truly believe that people come into our life for a reason. But it doesn't mean that they're going to be there forever. They're only there for a few seasons. So my intention for this episode is to provide you a few tips so you could thrive in all your relationships and just be okay with relationships not working out. But I also wanted to create this episode as a reminder to be picky with who you have in your life, who is in your circle. I remember watching an interview of Selena Gomez, and she was talking about how if you are in her life, that is a privilege. Knowing your worth and knowing what you deserve in every type of relationship is really important. And the way that you treat yourself and you allow them to treat you is how they're just going to treat you back. So that's why whoever you choose to have in your life, make sure they are serving a good purpose in your life. Are they bringing love in your life? Do they support you? Are they there for you? And sometimes friendships just don't work out, and that's totally fine. So let's talk about how you really can thrive, though, throughout all the relationships you encounter. Real quick, I just want to share with you this cute shirt that I'm wearing. It says, "Good things are coming." I love it. I'm such a t-shirt girl. It's so me and so positive. I'm so in love with it. I also got another shirt that says 111 and then it says intuition. It says trust your gut and follow your heart. And it's in purple, my favorite color. I wanted to share this because one, we'd never gatekeep here. And two, I just love these shirts and I want to give you guys a discount code. So one of my past clients, Emily, she owns the brand Claudette and Ray, and she is offering you guys a 10% discount. I'm not getting anything from this. I just want to be able to shout her out, and she was nice enough to give you guys a promo code. All you have to do is go to her website. It's going to be in my show notes, Claudette and Ray. And to be able to get a discount, just put Be Mindful. She has so many different designs on there. She even has jewelry, and every first Friday of the month, she launches new products. What I personally really love the most is that her products are made to order. So in a way, I feel like they're so uniquely designed because she made it for you. So if you want to buy anything, go ahead and use a discount, Be Mindful. The first and most important part of creating a thriving relationship with anyone is communication. If you are my friend, you know I will do my best to communicate with you no matter what. I am not going to wait and let it build up. I'd rather just talk to you, get it over with, and move forward. And if I'm not able to communicate with you in a mature way, then it's not going to work out. And communication works both for not just romantic relationships, but even friendships. I fully believe that if you're able to communicate with that person, it just creates such a bond between you two, especially if you have a disagreement or there's something that you two don't believe in, but you're able to still move forward and talk it out and share each other's opinions. I think that's just so powerful. It just shows that you guys can work things out, but still be in a disagreement and be okay with that. There have even been times where I have asked my friends, like, hey, am I being a good enough friend for you? Am I showing up for you in a way that you expect me to? A great way to build strength within your relationship is also asking that person, like, hey, am I showing up enough for you? Am I being a good friend to you? Am I being a good partner if it's your romantic partner? A great question that I personally like to even ask my friends is, how can I show up for you? Every relationship is different, and I'm not telling you to show up the way that they're saying, but at least being able to understand from their point of view what a good friend is to them. Which also leads me into my next tip, is to let go of expectations as well. Sometimes we put our bar so high and expect certain things from certain people, but they might not have the capacity to show up that way that you expect them to. For example, I had a friendship in the past where we were not on the same page. I viewed them differently and they viewed me differently. I thought they were someone that was going to be in my life forever, but in the back of their minds, they were thinking that I didn't really care for them, but I never knew that. And they never communicated that with me. So looking back, I asked myself, okay, how could have I been a better friend if you didn't tell me, if you didn't communicate that with me? So that's why communication and letting go of expectations really tie in together, because let's say one of your friends wants to see you like twice a month. They want to hang out. They want to go get coffee twice a month with you. But really, because of your busy schedule, you really don't have the capacity to do that. There is so much power in communication by just telling them like, hey, I love you. I want to hang out with you, but I don't think I have the time to do that. And it's not that I don't have time to spend with you, but I don't have the capacity. I don't have the energetic capacity to do that. For example, if you are my friend, you know for a fact that when we hang out, I have to plan this in way in advance. I have to put it in my calendar as well because of my busy schedule. And some of my friends are so busy as well where they totally understand that. They're cool with that. And I love that. I love the friendships where I don't have to really maintain it, but they know for a fact that I'm always there. And I feel like in all of my friendships that I have at this time, it's really like that. And I'm so grateful for that because they know that no matter what, I'm going to show up for them. And no matter what, they got me and I got them. As we get older, we do get busier, and there's also times where we have to set that healthy boundary for ourselves to have just like me time. Sometimes we are free, but we don't have that social capacity, right? We don't want to go out and hang out with our friends, or maybe sometimes we need space from our romantic partner and we just want alone time. For example, me and my husband could be in the same room and I could be reading or watching TV and he'll be on his phone or he's reading, whatever it is. And I personally like that because I see my husband all the time. I'm with him every single day. And so sometimes we just need a moment to ourselves. And I love that we could do that while we're together. I feel like I was going back and forth a little bit, but the first two tips I was giving you was communication and just letting go of expectations. Communicate with your partner, with your friend, because the only way you're going to really be able to be there for each other is being open about it. The next thing I want to talk about, which I briefly went over, was having healthy boundaries. I want you to remember this because it's so important. You cannot show up for others if you are not showing up for yourself. You are going to burn yourself out if you are constantly people pleasing. You are trying to show up for everyone else because at the end of the day, you are going to feel drained. There was a time that I was doing this and I didn't even realize. I was getting so tired and my social battery was like this, so tiny. I was really struggling. Having healthy boundaries is also just knowing that you don't have to reply to your friends the moment they text you. I used to do this all the time when I was in high school, but it's not necessary. I personally like to reply to my friends when I am not moving around or walking around. If I am just like sitting down doing nothing, then I can focus on that text and reply to my friend. With some of my friends, we even send each other voice memos, which is like so much more fun to me because like we're just like kind of talking back and forth. It's kind of like a little walkie-talkie in a way. It's so fun. I love doing those. And sometimes I don't have time to reply until maybe like a day or two later, and they're totally cool with that, which I'm very grateful for because sometimes they get busy too and they lag on replying, which I'm totally okay with. Another way of having healthy boundaries is being aware of the red flags. Sometimes we are blinded and we don't see the red flags. But from my experience of friendships since high school till now, since I'm going to be 30 next year, I have learned to really become so observant of those red flags. And last year I read the book, How to Break Up with Your Friends. I forgot who the author is. I will make sure to put the link in my show notes if you are curious on reading that book because I swear it's such a good book. I highly recommend it. It really taught me how to be a good friend and also how to communicate better. And in this book, she talks about recognizing the red flags and how we're able to recognize the red flags faster when we are actually trying to date someone. For example, let's say you go on your first date with that person, they had some red flags and you're like, nope, like that's just not going to work out for me. You're done and you're ready to move on to the next. And in the book, she was saying how we should treat our friendships the same way that we treat romantic relationships. So if someone is constantly disrespecting you or they are stepping over your boundaries or not respecting it, making you feel less worthy, bringing negativity in your life, then why keep them in your life? Why continue that relationship? Letting go of relationships are really difficult, especially if it's someone that you care so much about. But sometimes you have to just put yourself first and realize that maybe that person isn't just meant to be in your life anymore. And it's really sad because you go through this grieving process where you know that person still exists, but they're no longer in your life. So it still hurts and it sucks at first. It's really tough. But over time, you'll be able to heal and you'll be able to accept what is. And for the times that it happened to me, it was really difficult. It really sucked. And there are still moments where I think about certain people who are in my life that are no longer there. And it's sad. But all you can do is just send them positivity, send them love, send them light, and just accept that right now is just probably not the time for you guys to be in each other's lives, which is totally fine. And if it's meant to be, you'll find your way back to each other. This is exactly why relationships really do impact our quality of life and why I think it's important to be very picky with who you have in your life. Because you want to make sure that whoever you are surrounding yourself with, they do bring that positive energy into your life. I also took some notes about some research that I found about this, that those with larger and more diverse social ties live longer. They also have a better physical and mental health, and it's also because of that social support that they continue to receive. There was also a study by Dr. Sheldon Cohen. He's a psychologist. He did a study on 200 healthy volunteers. And what they found is that those with more social connections showed healthier health behaviors and more positive emotions. Learning about this research also confirms that this is why we should be picky of who is in our life, because our environment and the people that we're around really does impact how we behave, how we show up for ourselves. It affects our mental health. And again, it affects our quality of life. I have a friend where every time we go somewhere with them and we stay the night, we end up staying up so late, and I think she's so crazy sometimes for it. But it made me realize how important quality time is for her and how much I also respected that, because we don't always hang out all the time. And she really taught me to just make the most out of it. I always look back at those memories. I'm like, wow, I'm really glad we did stay up. I'm really glad we went because we had so much fun. And those are memories that you just never can get back. So be choosy with those relationships that you have. Be observant of those red flags where you feel like that person may be disrespecting you. Be aware of those boundaries that you're setting up for yourself. Are you being a people pleaser? Are you not taking care of yourself? And most importantly, communicate. Communicate. I can't express that enough. Me and my husband have been together as of this year 11 years. And when we started dating, we were in a long distance relationship. So communication was key for us to thrive. And here we are now. We are officially married. It's been over a year being married, and I'm so grateful. We have grown so much. Our communication is on point. And of course, there are times where we aren't communicating our best, and that's where we just learn and we grow and we get better at it. So if you want to thrive in all the relationships that you have, try these tips and let me know if you enjoyed this episode. That is all for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with all your friends and family. And as always, don't forget to be mindful, because who you are from within will only attract from the out. See you in the next episode. Bye.